A very warm good morning to all the wonderful people present here. It's my pleasure to begin this auspicious occasion by heartily welcoming everyone. I, Karan Arora, on behalf of GD Goenka University, warmly welcome one and all present here to the inaugural ceremony of 4th GD Goenka CIAB India International Virtual Commercial Arbitration Moot Court Competition 2020. Organized by School of Law, GD Goenka University, Gurugram. GD Goenka University is part of the GD Goenka Group, a leading educational group driven by a passion for excellence in education. GD Goenka University was established in 2013 under the Haryana Private Universities Amendment Act 2013 with an objective to raise the standards of clinical legal education in India. The GD Goenka University School of Law regularly hosts various competitions and encourages law students from various law schools and universities to learn the art and skills of advocacy. The event has participation from various law schools and universities from across the globe. Through our outstanding legacy, GD Goenka Moot Court competition has earned a stellar reputation as an event that revels in the talent of all our participants, their astonishing individuality and uniqueness. It elates our spirit to welcome you all to the inaugural ceremony of 4th GD Goenka CIAB India International Virtual Commercial Arbitration Moot Court Competition 2020. It elates our spirit to welcome all the judges, the media partners, and all the knowledge partners. I now wish to introduce Professor Dr. Tabriz Ahmed, Vice Chancellor and Dean, School of Law, GD Goenka University. Professor Dr. Tabriz Ahmed is doctorate in cyber law and IPR from AMU Aligarh. He is Vice Chancellor of GD Goenka University and Dean, School of Law. He is founder president of Technolex and also the National Vice President of International Council of Jurists, London, and chair Legal Education Section of Indian National Bar Association. He was the Pro Vice Chancellor and Dean, School of Law at Galgotias University before joining GD Goenka University. He was instrumental in establishing and transforming UPS School of Law, Dehradun as Director and Dean. He is the founder, Director of Alliance School of Law and founding professor of KIT Law School and founding faculty of National University of Juridical Sciences, Kolkata. He has also practiced for a while at the Bar of Delhi High Court and Supreme Court of India. He has authored a pioneering book entitled Cyber Law, E-Commerce and M-Commerce and published more than 100 papers in reputed journals. Now I request Sir to brief the gathering about this event. Sir, please.
His Excellency Honorable Mr. Justice K.G. Balakrishnan, Dr. Lalit Bhasin, Dr. Sukku Bhaskaran, directors, deans, and heads of from various schools and departments of our university, members of our organizing team, media partners, knowledge partners, and sponsors of the event, distinguished guests, my faculty colleagues, dear participants, and most lovable students, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all in the inaugural function of the 4th Goenka CIAB International Commercial Arbitration Moot Court Competition 2020. It is a matter of great happiness and pride for us that the 4th GDGU CIR International Commercial Arbitration Moot Court Competition has become a reality. We welcome His Excellency Honorable Mr. Justice K.G. Balakrishnan, one of the very well-known legal luminary in the world. He is a very humble and real gentleman that even from his busy schedule, as well as on a short notice, he accepted our invitation to be the chief guest of the event. Join me in welcoming Honorable Justice K.G. Balakrishnan. We welcome Dr. Lalit Bhasin, a very dynamic and well-known legal personality in the world. He is the moving spirit behind the promotion, development, setting the standards of the law forms and internationalization of the legal profession in the country. We also welcome to our own President, Dr. Sukku Bhaskaran, a well-known global leader in the education world. We welcome all the distinguished guests, members of the organizing committee, participants across all the top law schools of the country, and judges from all over India, USA, UK, and other foreign countries. In fact, we have around 60 budding arbitrators and more than 40 judges who will be having a very interesting moot court on problem of an arbitration. We welcome all the deans, directors, heads, faculty colleagues, students from School of Law and other schools under the department of our university. We also welcome to those who could not join Zoom due to limited capacity and attending the program on Facebook Live. The School of Law is committed to actively raise the quality of life for every student. We want all students to achieve their full potential. We are determined to make possible. We provide in this process practical step-by-step assistance for raising the legal skill, competency building, professional development, and boosting the confidence of each student. Winning a deserved place among the top law school of India in a short span of time is a testimony of our commitment. We have very innovative 6 specialized programs across UG, PG, and PhD in a School of Law. Some of the courses are unique and rare in India and run with a very specialized and creative pedagogy. These programs give the real interface between law, social sciences, business management, trade commerce, science and technology. The understanding of these dynamics are very important for the policy making, peaceful development, and success of the country. As the law can play a very important role promoting innovation and ensuring justice, therefore, there is a strong need to review and make laws which can promote the innovation in all walks of life. The laws have a very strong potential to create a roadblocks, and the laws can also play a very important role of catalyst in growth and development. We have millions of cases pending in the various courts of India. We have to innovate and go on searching alternative methods of dispute resolution to reduce the dependency and ensure timely justice. We are delighted to see your participation in the 4th International Commercial Arbitration Moot Court Competition 2020. Your presence is not only an honor for the School of Law, Goenka University, but also provides an opportunity for the students to get to know the values you cherish and practice in your life. It's a pleasure to see so many of you here. Your participation will be very rewarding and you may make good friends. Thank you very much. I welcome you all once again in the 4th Goenka CIR International Commercial Arbitration Moot Court Competition 2020. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. I would now like to introduce President Professor Dr. Sukku Bhaskar, Goenka University. Professor Dr. Sukku Bhaskar has approximately 4 decades of global experience in teaching, research, academic administration, and corporate leadership positions. He has managed several in-country training, research, and consultancy projects across the globe. Professor Dr. Sukku Bhaskaran has authored and co-authored more than 100 scholarly research articles, research monographs, book chapters, and other research outputs. He was a consultant for the Excellence in Research for Australia, that is an initiative by the Government of Australia, and has served as expert assessor of international standing for the Australian Research Council. Professor Dr. Sukku Bhaskaran has received several citations and awards for research excellence and contribution to the academic and research profession. I would now request our Honorable President, Professor Dr. Sukku Bhaskaran, Goenka University, to kindly address the audience. So please.
Thank you, Karan, for the very generous introduction. Vice Chancellor and Dean of School of Law, Professor Tabriz Ahmed, and team, my heartiest congratulations for organizing the International Virtual Commercial Arbitration Moot Court 2020. This is a highly commendable that you've succeeded in doing this. This is a new initiative, which is in addition to the annual International Moot Court competition that Goenka University School of Law has organized annually from the time of its inception. I'm also glad to see some of India's legal luminaries, the Honorable Mr. Justice K.G. Balakrishnan, who will deliver the special address, and of course, Dr. Lalit Bhasin, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court of India. Dr. Lalit Bhasin has been a good friend and a mentor of the law school from its inception. He has provided cash and in-kind support for nearly all our moot court competitions. I'm delighted to see that he's continuing his support and mentorship for our School of Law. Thank you, Dr. Bhasin. Thank you very much for that. Under Professor Tabriz Ahmad's leadership, our School of Law is moving forward in many new directions, and that's important. There's a lot of renewal going on in the school, and I'm really pleased to see that. He is developing a strategic plan for the School of Law, is strongly advocating greater community engagement, fostering quality research and research outputs, and fostering a range of international engagements. I understand from Mr. Sushanto Bose, our Director for Student Mobility and International Partnerships, that efforts were being made to engage with our partner universities in the USA, UK, Australia, and such countries to participate in this international moot court arbitration court competition. But as is a practice in these countries, because I happen to know, because I've worked there for so many years, they needed far more advanced notice. They need about 3-4 months before they can commit to something like this, because of other engagements. And it has got to be a part of their program. So this year we did not succeed. Perhaps with a little bit more advanced notice, next year we can begin to draw our partner institutions into this and other programs. Notwithstanding this, senior academics from our partner institutions are beginning to conduct classes for our students across all faculties, all schools, that's what we call them here, across all schools, including the law school. Professor Colin Picker, the Dean of Law at the University of Wollongong in Australia, conducted a session on international comparative law. I note that that is very well received. This means that the School of Law, as with many of our other schools, are fostering strong engagements with our global partner institutions to provide our students an international perspective in teaching, learning, and research engagements. And this is very important. Working with partner institutions throughout the world is part of the process, and in India is an important way to develop our capabilities and foster collaborative research and teaching and other things, which will be to the benefit of both our students and our faculty. It is good to see this. And with this, I will end. I wish you the very best and hope that it's a resounding success. The program for today is a resounding success. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for formally welcoming our distinguished guests and participants. To enlighten us with his grace and prudence, we have with us today Dr. Lalit Bhasin, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court of India, President of SIAB India, Bar Association of India, and Society of Indian Law Firms. Dr. Lalit Bhasin is a Chief Patron of Goenka SIAB India International Commercial Arbitration Competition. He has the distinction of being top 100 legal luminaries of India, published by LexisNexis, and a distinguished lawyer with more than 4 decades of law practice. He was awarded honorary membership of IBA for outstanding service to the legal profession. He was also awarded Plaque of Honor by the Prime Minister of India for his outstanding contribution to rule of law. His accomplishments are inspirational for those who want to be great achievers. His footprints are worth following. We are honored and fortunate to have him amongst us. We now wholeheartedly request Honorable Dr. Lalit Bhasin to enlighten us. Sir, please.
Thank you, Karan, for your very gracious introduction. Honorable Justice K.G. Balakrishnan, former Chief Justice of India and former Chairperson of Human Rights Commission, but above all, a great jurist and a living legend in India. Professor Dr. Suku Bhaskaran, President GD Goenka University, and Dr. Tabrez Ahmed, a good friend whom I have the privilege of knowing for nearly the last 2 decades. He is the Vice Chancellor, GD Goenka University, and also the Dean School of Law, GD Goenka University. Under his stewardship, I'm sure GD Goenka University and the law school will continue to impart quality education in the field of law to the aspiring students. It is already considered as one of the top institutions in the field of legal education in the country. So I'm very pleased that he is taking new initiatives, trying to bring the law students together from all over the country and even from overseas. It has been a challenging task, but challenges have been met very successfully under the leadership of Dr. Tabrez Ahmed. Professor Dr. Anil Davra, worthy faculty members, and last but not the least, the participating teams. You have an excellent Moot problem, which you will be discussing, participating, arguing before very worthy judges. I would like to share some practical tips with you because you are going to be the future lawyers and you are already engaged in the advocacy part by participating in this moot court competition. I'm frequently asked by law students around the country because I visit law schools almost every month, 1 or 2 law schools. I'm frequently asked as to how a lawyer must prepare for and argue important cases. The only appropriate answer that can be offered, according to Mr. Fali Nariman, is that as best as you can. And as a practicing lawyer, he found that he made 3 arguments in every case. The one he planned, that is logical, coherent, complete. The one he presented, that is incoherent, disjointed, disappointing. And the one he did not make, that is the utterly devastating argument that I thought of after going to bed that last night. There are lessons to be learned in this school of hard knocks called the bar, in which all lawyers get their training. These lessons are traditionally handed down by seniors to the younger members of the bar. And this is what C.K. Daftari, one of the most eminent lawyers of the country and the first Solicitor General of India, later on he was the Attorney General of India, he said, always remember, it is better to spend more time thinking about a case than merely reading the brief. Such words of wisdom, you see, that you keep on thinking and not just reading about the brief. This I found very invaluable piece of advice. Then there are certain do's and don'ts which would serve you in good stead when you start appearing actually in the courts of law. Firstly, when some client comes to you, your opinions should be honest and responsible. Never begin a case, a suit, or a writ unless you are satisfied that your client has good reasons, good law to support, and good evidence to substantiate the claim in a court of law. So honest opinion is very vital. Second is the difference between good lawyering and good advocacy. The essence of good lawyering is acquainting oneself with the relevant law, including the case law, and on the subject which is in hand. But the essence of good advocacy is to know the facts of your case and then apply the law to those facts. This is very vital. You must know the law, but go into the facts and then try to apply the law to the facts of that case. Otherwise, if you just keep on studying the law without applying to the facts, you will be flooded with what is called the case law diarrhea, because students, particularly at your age, they are very keen to look into the case laws and all that. But case law is all right because the case was decided on the facts of that case. Therefore, apply, you see that. Then, when you argue a case in a court, be clear and precise and not confused. Your mental output must flow. And for it to flow, you must be well equipped and well prepared. Someone said disparagingly about a lawyer that his mental output was like a plate of scrambled eggs. Wholesome, but messy. Don't be messy. Present a cogent and logical argument. Think like a lawyer and not like a philosopher. Now, how should you spend your time when you are a young practicing lawyer? You may have some spare time. Possibly you may have more spare time because you may not have many briefs, you see. But what you should be doing, and this is what Sir Jamshedji Kanga advised and what he practiced himself. He said that he spent his time reading all the decisions of the Supreme Court, at that time the Privy Council also, and the judgments of the High Courts. This he would do in the evenings. During the day, he would sit in various courts, imbibing the difficult art of how to argue, and more importantly, how not to argue a case merely by intelligently
अरे तुम बोल रहे थे तुम सिखाओगे कहाँ हो तुम?
watching others perform. Now, this is very important. This is what I also do myself, that whenever I have free time, I don't go to the cafeteria or the canteen. I always sit in some courtroom just to see how other lawyers are arguing, or what is the deficiency in their arguments, their style of arguments, the style of advocacy. I think you learn a lot by just sitting in the courtroom, listening to the other cases which happen. Then one of the best instances that I have heard of is how well prepared a lawyer must be is the legendary lawyer Vishwanath Shastri. Once he was appearing in a case in the Supreme Court of India, and before a bench of 3 judges, including Justice Bachawat, who was a fine judge and who had law on his fingertips. Justice Bachawat reminded Vishwanath Shastri that the proposition he was then canvassing was directly contrary to what the Privy Council had said in a case which Justice Bachawat recollected and mentioned. Then there was a silence for an instant, and the response came from Vishwanath Shastri, "Yes, my lord, that is the only decision of the Privy Council that has been adversely commented on in Halsbury's Laws of England in volume such and such, such and such, and such page." Now, this was too much, you see, for the presiding member of the bench, Justice Gajendra Gatkar. He said, okay, get the Halsbury's Laws of England also and get the Privy Council judgments also. So both the books were brought in, and sure enough, there was the judgment of Privy Council as Justice Bachawat had recollected. And equally surely there was that passage in Halsbury's Laws of England which commented adversely on the opinion of the Privy Council. This is how well prepared lawyers and judges should be. And as a lawyer, now this is the question of ethics also and your conduct also. As a lawyer, it is your duty to bring to the attention of the court a case which may have been already decided against you on the point being argued. You may then distinguish your case from the decided case, but you must cite it. And as a professional person, you should never cite an overruled case. I think you will hear more about these things from Honorable Justice Balakrishnan, who has the necessary experience, expertise, knowledge, and competence of not only law, but who has also seen how lawyers present their matters before a court of law and particularly before the Supreme Court. So these are some few words of advice to you, because you are the future of the legal profession, and the future of the country also depends on the future of legal profession, because we are one of the key stakeholders and players in the field of administration of justice, because you cannot have system of administration of justice, an effective system, unless you have the law and the bar and the judiciary supporting it. So with these words, now I wish the teams who are participating all the best. It will be a hard time for you next 2 days, but I'm sure that you will get the best results. Mere participating in this itself is a good achievement. And if one party loses or one team loses or one time wins, that hardly matters. So thanks a lot. Thank you. I thank the organizers. I thank the GD Goenka University and office bearers, and also Professor Dr. Tabrez Ahmed. Thank you very much.
We are grateful to you, sir, for motivating us with a thought-provoking speech. To enlighten us with his grace and prudence, we have with us today His Excellency, Honorable Mr. Justice K.G. Balakrishnan. His Excellency, Honorable Mr. Justice K.G. Balakrishnan, the former Chief Justice of India and the former Chairperson of the National Human Rights Commission of India. He was the 6th Chairperson of the National Human Rights Commission. He was the first judge from the state of Kerala and also from a scheduled caste background to become the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. He was appointed as a judge of the Kerala High Court on 26 September 1985. He became the Chief Justice of the Gujarat High Court on 16 July 1998 and was transferred to the High Court of Judicature at Madras and assumed charge there as Chief Justice on 9 September 1999. He was elevated as the Judge of Supreme Court on 8th June 2000. On 14th January 2007, he was appointed as the Chief Justice of India and retired on 12th May 2010. During his tenure in the Supreme Court, he delivered several landmark judgments. This included an order which made the midday meal program in schools a statutory requirement. This order brought relief to millions of poor children who had to discontinue their studies due to poverty. I now wholeheartedly request His Excellency, Honorable Mr. Justice K.G. Balakrishnan to enlighten us. Sir, please.
Mr. Tabrez Ahmed, the Vice Chancellor of GD Goenka University, Mr. Sukhu Bhaskar, Mr. Lalit Basin, the distinguished lawyer of the Supreme Court of India, other distinguished participants, the foreign lawyers who have come to participate in this Moot Court competition, and dear students. This arbitration, international arbitration, moot court competition is an excellent idea. And I am extremely happy that the Goenka University is taking active role in this, active step in this direction. Still, India is not the hub of international arbitration. We have various limitations. Though the international arbitration is very, very active throughout the world, we have got our own limitations. After the First World War, the League of Nations first introduced the thought of having an international, how to resolve the international commercial disputes. Then the Geneva Protocol in 1923, they introduced the Geneva Protocol. They again revised it in 1927. the Geneva Protocol. Then, though the 30 states, 30 countries ratified it has certain limitations for this international arbitration process. In our country also, we had 1940 Arbitration Act. Then the international arbitration commercial people thought of having a common uniform, the Arbitration Act. The United Nations Commission on International Trade Law adopted the unilateral form of act. And that is why in 1996, the Arbitration and Conciliation Act 1996 we passed. This act also had certain limitations. The main problem is regarding the enforcement of awards passed by the International Commercial Arbitration Council. Then the speedy resolution of the commercial disputes. In all commercial disputes, huge money is involved. Claims are running to several crores. So they have to resolve the disputes at the earliest. Then once the earliest the award is passed, it is to be enforced. So they should get the fruits of the decree, the fruits of the award, which is passed in their favor. Then a lot of problems arise in the enforcement of awards. That is really the problem. Still now, there are certain problems, though many of the problems could be solved by these various provisions of the Act. India is cooperating because normally the country where the award is in which the proceedings started and that judicial process should be initiated to enforce the award. Sometimes the foreign awards are also enforced in other countries, but there will be disputes and all these. So many still the law is not well settled in this regard. So international commercial arbitration, this moot court competition, we'll discuss these are also to keep it in mind. These and India should be a hub of international arbitration. The late Law Minister, Mr. Jaitley, was very much keen to introduce such a forum in India, but that could not be solved. We will still, the eminent lawyers like Lalit Pazin and others can even try to make the international hub into India as a hub of international arbitration. We have got some of the best lawyers in this country, some of the best judicial system in this country, so it could be resolved. Then only the international arbitration will thrive. Otherwise, this lot of money will be unnecessarily wasted by our commercial institutions having the resolution in the foreign country, because two things are the main thing. It should be resolved at the earliest and the award should be enforced at the earliest. Nowadays, these two things is reasonably solved well. In India also, the 1996 of the Arbitration Act, only very limited grounds are there to set aside an award. So if it is opposed to the natural justice, opposed to the laws laid down by this country, all these are all very very limited. They are, and the proceedings are also shortened. It could be research. Now in the new act, the time limit is fixed, the fees are fixed. All these are later. Some amendment also has come. Some international these sort of tribunals are to be formed. I don't know whether they are all enforced under the new law. It will come. We will solve the problem to the greatest, and then only the commercial transactions, the dispute related to commercial transaction should be resolved at the earliest and to the satisfaction of the whole. And now, because as you know, this is because of the COVID situation, our judiciary is in serious problems. We are not able to transact the general business in the courtroom. The lawyers are not able to go and argue the matter and finish. Daily 45 to 50 matters are used to be disposed of in the Supreme Court, in each court of the Supreme Court. And now the large number of cases will pending. This is not only the situation in the various high courts and subordinate courts. This system is moving very slow. That means large number of backlogs we will have. And even criminal cases, all these murder cases, examination of witness, and all these not possible under the web court proceedings. So this is also will affect the system. So we have to find out. The lawyers have to work hard. After some time, Mr. Ledpasan has very brilliantly explained how the lawyers should work and do. Then a group of young lawyers went to Felix Frankfurter, the great American. Then what is the role to be played by? So how you have to. Then he said, your duty is to lead your client to the channels of wisdom. So that is the basic, that you lead your client, not to instigate him to file cases or not to file cases, but they have come to seek your aid and advice. You give them the greatest possible advice. So the lawyer's profession is one of the brilliant profession. So it is helping the society and the community. And internationally, these commercials, their duties are more profound because they are they're moving every country for leading the country to the finest economic economic situation. And because of the COVID situation, all the countries are facing economic problems. The workers are not having the work. The employers are not able to engage. They are not able to open their these shops or establishments. There are various problems. And then under these circumstances, the duties of lawyers are various. They have to increase, to work hard to compensate the time they have lost in the regular court work. This is something which is we have to face in all situations. We have to face all these things. But there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. So we can always work hard. And some of I am sure that moot court competition, I have participated in several moot court. The way in which they prepare the brief, the way in which they present the case is sometimes brilliant. The young lawyers, the only thing that they have keep up that talent, and they continue. This is a continuous the work. We cannot take rest in the lawyer's life. We should read the brief, and think of the way in which you have to fine-tuning your profession. That is more important. I am extremely happy to participate in this international arbitration moot court competition. With this, I formally inaugurate these. I once again congratulate one and all of you for having participated in this function. Thank you. Thank you very much.
We are grateful to you, sir, for motivating us with a thought-provoking speech. I would now like to request Professor Dr. Anil Davra to propose the vote of thanks.
Hello. Thank you, Karan.
Hello.
It is my pleasure to propose the vote of thanks for today's function. At the outset, I would like to, on behalf of GD Goenka University, especially the School of Law and CIR, I'm proposing the vote of thanks. At the outset, we are extremely thankful to His Excellency Honorable Justice KG Balakrishnan, former CJI and former Chairperson NHRC, for sparing his valuable time to encourage the participants of this moot. We are extremely thankful to you, sir, not only for encouraging these participants, but also for highlighting the importance of arbitration and the importance of certain aspects of legal profession. Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your time to encourage the participants of the CIR moot. Next, I would like to thank Dr. Lalit Bhasin, who's Senior Advocate, Supreme Court, President, CIR, Bar Association of India and Society of Indian Law Firms, who has been a constant source of motivation and help, not only to the CIR competition, but also to the faculty and staff. And we are so used to him. And every year before in the inauguration session, he gives very valuable points for the students who are going to join the profession later on in their life. Extremely thankful to you, sir. This year also you have raised very, very important, and you have in fact imparted very valuable tips to these participants and others when they join the profession. Thank you so much, sir. And our special thanks to our MD, Mr. Nipun Goenka, who is a staunch supporter of clinical legal education, for supporting the CIR moot all these years. And of course, our Honorable President, Dr. Sukku Bhaskaran, who's always there to motivate us and to help us in organizing this moot year after year. Thank you so much, sir. And as everyone mentioned, this year we are led to conduct this moot by our Vice Chancellor and Dean School of Law, Dr. Tabrez Ahmed, who kept the whole team motivating despite odds and conducting this virtual moot. Thank you so much, sir, for all the help, guidance, and motivation for the team to continue the annual moot. Thank you so much, sir. We are also thankful to all the judges who are going to judge this competition for the next 2 days, whether from India or abroad. In addition, I would also like to thank our knowledge partners and media partners for all the help which they regularly render to us for conducting this tournament. And of course, the organizing team, my colleagues, the student volunteers who have worked hard in this COVID times to see and ensure that this CIR moot competition goes well. Thank you to all of you. And last, but the most importantly, I would like to thank all the teams who, despite COVID, have made all efforts not only to participate, but work hard to do their best in this competition. So my special thanks to all the participating teams for participating in this unusual circumstances of COVID in this virtual moot court. And for me, all the teams are winners because they have made special effort to participate this year. However, do your best in the next 2 days and may the best team win. Thank you all for today's participation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. With this, we have come to the end of the inaugural ceremony. We are looking forward to a constructive and competitive fun-filled 2 days. While our participants may compete with each other for the coveted titles, we hope that post this competition, their experience, everyone goes home as a winner. Thank you all for attending, and we hope your experiences will be remarkable and unforgettable. I wish good luck to all the participating teams. May the best team win. Thank you.
Thank you all of you for finding time and gracing the occasion. Thank you, Honorable Mr. Justice K.G. Balakrishnan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lalit Bhasin. Thank you, Dr. Bhaskaran. Thank you, Mr. Daura, and all the members who attended the program. Thank you, all of you.